टूर था यहाँ से स्टार्ट होने वाला। यहाँ बारबिकन प्लेस है जहाँ से वो टूर स्टार्ट करते हैं, बट आई मिस दैट। तो मैं खुद ही अब एक्सप्लोर करूँगा एंड जो भी यहाँ पे चीज़ें हैं आई ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड और देखते हैं। बट चीज़ें तो कवर कर लूँगा, बट वो क्या है और उसका हिस्ट्री क्या है मैं उसे बता नहीं पाऊँगा। तो वो जितना है उतना कवर कर देते हैं, देखते हैं कैसा रहता है ये ब्लॉग। तो सबसे पहले ये मार्केट स्क्वायर है, इसको रानक बोलते हैं लोग। इंग्लिश में मीनिंग है मार्केट स्क्वायर। विजिट कर सकते हैं। ये छोटे छोटे ग्रुप्स में टूर गाइड होता है जो सारा एक्सप्लेन करता है।
Vamos, sí, ven. Uważaj, kobietą. Ten Kraków, no to wszyscy, Kraków wszyscy.
tenner, you have a tenner. Could I Trevor have a tenner as well? Trevor have a tenner on it as well.
बट ये रास्ता जो है ये क्या से बिक जाएगा। ठंड बहुत ज़बरदस्त पड़ रही है।
To co mam zrobić? Coca-Cola, no tu.
So it's a new vision of the road travel. So it's been recently renovated, so I really recommend it. But you also we don't have so much treasure in British Museum, New York Museum, the other museums around the world. War, unfortunately, have been stolen, and we never get it back. Germans stole some of that, and Russians also stole some of that. And we have the invasions like a and kings also took away some of the stuff when they travel outside.
I teraz, moi drodzy, idziemy sobie razem w wartej grupie.
You don't see so much gold anywhere else. You might see inside, like just at the altar pieces, you know, some of it. But this is a proof that once upon a time, Poland was empire. Poland was empire because together with the Lithuania, we
Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, what we do.
Brazil. You? India.
पता नहीं यार देखते हैं
अच्छा इधर ही यही कैसे है?
It's so hard.
मुझे लगता है आपको अपने ही पैसे ढूंढना पड़ेगा, ऐसे नहीं होगा।
I try to there's a pool.
प्रोजेक्ट मिल गया तुम लोग को?
हाँ प्रोजेक्ट मेरा तो इंडिया से है यार
कौन सा? हाँ इंडिया से कौन सा?
सीजी में कैपिटल ग्रुप
अच्छा
यहाँ पे 3 महीना आपको
सितंबर में आया था वाकला।
कहाँ पे
रॉकला आया था।
अच्छा रॉकला
वहाँ से अभी 1 महीने पहले गया था।
अच्छा कब आए लेकिन आप यहाँ
मैं आया अक्टूबर में।
अच्छा
किधर मुड़ी भाई?
कहाँ गए भाई
वो भागी जा रही है।
वो अभी जूइश क्वार्टर लेके जाएगी
वो अपनी स्पीड से भाग रही है, उसको 1 घंटा खत्म करे भागना है घर अपने।
1 बजे भागना है
they will let you find,
नहीं उनको आता है
पुलिस
So your roomie is from India?
Sorry?
Your roommate is from India or something?
So how do you know but I imagine that's for reading purpose. But Brazil has a lot of how are you doing? In Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese
they are waiting for us.
como você está?
Yes, the Kazi Mirja. I was going to Kazi actually. I missed there. So I thought they would be in Kazi. Then I came here and I thought, okay, I'll go first here and then somewhere.
Okay.
And luckily you guys met there.
But the people taught you that our location. You know, just
Yeah, just, I was late actually, 30 minutes to come to the Barbie.
Okay.
So I was thinking you might be somewhere.
Nice. Good intuition. Every part of here.
Good.
It was really good. No, I didn't travel a lot. Yes. I have my internet is from YouTube.
This is original building. But all the job is done to show you that used to be the Jewish institution here, close to church. I think in Poland and in Eastern Europe there were a lot of Jews that lived near the Catholics, but still they were very Orthodox, much more Orthodox than in Western Europe. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, all the death camps, concentration camps were located in Polish territory because there was the largest number of Jews here. And they were already here, so that's why Germans decided to first kill Polish Jews and then to take the European Jews to Auschwitz. Extermination.
You say the Jews, right? Because there was a lot of fight and explaining all the things. So because the locals here, they didn't like the Jews.
I forgot. As a scene.
Which system, right? They are the more Orthodox. Christianity is the latest manifestation of.
For example, John Paul, he is from the Catholic Church. So, but in the Catholic Church dominated all Europe in the medieval ages. So. They were trying to control people mainly by their family. The Jews, a lot of bad things. For example, you remember that war that your grandfather died, your mother was raped, something like that? It was financiated by a Jew. So that's why it was that easy for Hitler to arrive and it's all there. Yes, there is a little of, because there were some families of rich bankers that financiated it. But of course, there is not everyone. So, and you see that Catholics believe that Jews was because they were only trying to make profit. So, I don't know how you perceive this in India, but here in the Occident, you are rich as a Jew. And Jews are really related to money, powerful people. So, and this makes a lot of jealousy. I forgot the word. But yeah, that's a problem.
That made Hitler all this. Hitler all because he was for him it was easy to like provoke others against Jews, right?
Yeah. And if you read all the history of the Jews, I talked with I worked in a Jewish company, and the guy, one of my chiefs, one of my bosses over, was telling me all the history about this. Every 100 years of
because it takes you to Krakow. Even you are in Krakow right now. Okay, so this is it's absurd, and some people, this is funny. So you name it Krakow City in Krakow, said because it was a separate town a long time ago. So you have to remember that not only those who don't know the history, they don't know the way with you to the bridge, because the river goes this way right now, and you keep going to the bridge, you So in another old city of Podgórze that was built by the Austrians, so technically Austria a long time ago was behind the river, the border of Austria, historically, because it doesn't exist anymore. Austria is the Slovakia and Hungary is between Austria and Poland right now. Anyway, so this is all new, 19th century, beginning of 20th century. We keep going this way because I will show you the oldest part of
In Brazil is in a different way because you have an air current and it carries out this water to Amazon rainforest and it hits the Andes mountains, and because there is an angle, so you see
elderly people, Holocaust
the humidity is
survivor, but there is a young
almost
generation.
100%.
Also, you have to understand that a lot of people after the World War II were disconnected from the
It's like
Jewish
you are
life.
always
A lot of people
wet.
died.
So, for
A lot of
example,
people
it's
left Poland because they did
degrees.
not want to live on the cemetery. Trauma, experience, they lost everyone, the families, they prefer to stay somewhere else outside of Poland, not to see Poland, not to think about Poland, not to remember what happened here.
Which is in the middle of the
Polish people did the same, because my generation asked questions,
sweat doesn't
but my
evaporate.
grandparents did not want to talk about anything. They did not want to talk about the war. They just kept it inside. They said, it's too painful to talk. It was just too traumatic for them to talk and just to talk over and over again about those 5 years of trauma. My uncle, who was 18 years old when he was caught by Germans at Pole and sent to Auschwitz, spent 5 years in 2 camps, concentration camps. Because from Auschwitz he was sent to Mauthausen in Austria, and he became medical doctor. It looks like he had after the war great life. For the first one, then he divorced, had kids, then he married my aunt, and then in 1976 he committed suicide. 30 years after the war, and you might see, how did that happen? It was too painful, killing people inside, that he could not take it anymore. And that's how many people did it, and how many people just kept it silent, and how many people just did what my uncle did. But anyway, Christian part was on this side, the Jewish part was on that side. But in 19th century, before the war, the Jews took over almost everything because so many of them became people. In the nice area, you might just see tables, vintage tables, people that just actually have dinners, lunch, talking, music. But it was a synagogue. Not every single synagogue can be a synagogue now because it costs too much money, and not everyone can be turned into the museum. Some of them, they are turned into some institutions.
What is synagogue? This type of is not
People from all the world are over there. Narrow streets, but also after the earthquake they rebuilt the city. So here, look at this corridor. That's how it looks in the past. That's the same street before the war. The man who is sitting and waiting for the client, trying to survive the next day. Reading newspaper because this is all he can do right now. Kids are just here. Most of them, they lived here. This is a typical example of the architecture of the poor area. When people live on the upper floors, 10 people, sometimes 12 people, like a lot of families, because Jews, Orthodox, they have a lot of kids. And they try to... Original copy. Commercial shops, vintage show. This is what happened to everyone. They just actually come here and just want to slowly wander on the streets, get into one, buy old books, old posters, because Kazimierz gives you a chances to find most impossible things to find. The vintage clothes, the souvenirs. Occasionally we have the exhibitions here, photographic exhibitions. This particular one right now is dedicated to Ukrainian refugees, which a lot of them, they live in Krakow right now. I think 300,000. If I'm not mistaken, maybe more, because a lot of people came back to Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, the famous courtyard was used during Steven Spielberg in that movie because ghetto, Jewish ghetto, the Jewish Nazi ghetto was in a different place behind the river, originally during World War II. But Steven Spielberg used this area, the old Jewish quarter, in his movie that came. Students had to resign to study in Krakow because there are no places to live for them, no available. You have to live also somewhere.
Yeah.
So for people who came to work, and they also, you took some of the apartments that they were available, and imagine 200,000 students. I was lucky to study in Krakow and to live here. I do not have to pay a rent, but people who have to pay a rent had really like some problems. But anyway, this is like really expensive because it became very, you know, hipsters.